bruh. I ain't got no chill.
Hey guys, Johnny O here. Today we're going to be playing the Stanley Parable. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of cool things that I thought were cool. An ending, kind of Easter egg secrets, things like that. So let's get into it. Now, this game does take a while to load on this laptop, so I guess I will talk about the first thing that we're going to be doing. We're going to be progressing through the story like you would normally, but at one point we're gonna do a little Easter egg. By normally I mean we're gonna follow the narrator, do what he is asking us to do, and then for people who don't know what this game is, basically there's a narrator speaking to a man named Stanley, and I'm gonna have to skip the cutscene for like copyright issues. So he's like this employee, and he's been always doing what he's supposed to do, clicking buttons and everything on the computer, is the way they explain it. And pretty much one day everybody in the office goes missing, and there's no explanation behind it. So he goes off on his little own adventure, but it's not really his own adventure. The narrator's telling him basically what to do, but you have the option to ignore what he's telling you to do. So this might run a little long, this video, because there are a decent amount of things that I want to show you, but I see we're almost loaded, so let's get into it. Now, the first thing is when you start playing. Wait, let me make sure. Audio? Yeah, closed captions are on. Just in case you guys can't hear it. So, the first thing I want to do is, if you stand in Stanley's office and you don't do anything and you shut the door.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
And then I think the game just restarts. That's a little one right there for you. The next thing I want to do is something called Heaven, and you will see what I mean.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now I'm looking for a monitors that say awaiting input, and you hit E on them to make the input, and then you begin the game again. And then you keep looking for those monitors.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Now this one does take a little while, so I thought I'd get this one done early too.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe this is the faraway one. Yeah, this is the faraway one. You have to progress through the game a little bit. Huh? This is weird. Sometimes there's like alternate hallways. This is not the normal path through the game, so take note of this room right here. We won't pass through it again when we do the normal playthrough.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The game is constantly changing and little things like that.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
We'll come back to the broom closet later. That's a kind of funny one, too. I completely forgot about that one.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So we got to go to the boss's office, and then we go to this computer here. Come on. And that one gets the input.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley
This one's kind of hard to hit
he couldn't
sometimes.
find a trace.
There we go. And then I think this is another alternate spawn, actually, before I hit that, because it'll just teleport us when we hit that. Oh, wait. The office door does close, I think. So, all these papers here are another one of the features of the game. When I said that it constantly changes, that's one of the random events that you can have occur. So let's do this real fast. And then this is the heaven ending. And you basically just push a bunch of buttons, and that's all you do here. It's really pointless, but this is heaven, apparently, so now you all know. Okay, we're gonna begin the game again. Now, what should we do next? Game's loading. Oh, if you type in the words face punch, all one word, something cool happens, so we'll do that next. So when I walk out here, I'll type in face punch.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
I'll wait for him to stop talking.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So when you type in face punch, this happens. Now that's the face punch logo. I'm pretty sure these are the guys who made.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
These are the guys who made Gary's mod. So that's cool. And then you type it again to get rid of it. Another one is when you walk over here, you can actually sometimes get up on this chair. There we go. You would think that an ending there we go. You have to crouch to get that one, and then you hop out here.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit.
He basically just goes on and on about that you could just keep restarting whenever. Now we're gonna go and do one of my favorite endings to the game. Oh wait, hold on. We gotta answer the phone.
contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Alright, well, I'm glad that happened, because now I'm going to begin the game again, and you will see what they were talking about. I think that's how you get it to happen. Yep.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's just cardboard boxes everywhere.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, now I remember. We're doing my favorite ending, so we gotta go to the
This
right.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope, that's not why we're here.
Truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop on this lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
And then we're gonna go in that door over there.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forget. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
So now we go through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, we went through the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Pretty sure we walked through the blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because
Nope.
I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Now you can give him some real feedback, but I want to give him a 1.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
So now we have the leaderboard. So now it's saying people completed the game in 2 seconds. Now let's see where we are on the leaderboard. Oh look, we're in dead last. Isn't that nice? So now we're gonna go ahead and go back through this door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you
No.
feel motivated to keep walking through
No.
doors?
No.
Again, honest answers, please.
Nope. 1.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Now this is the most annoying sound in the world, so I'll hit it a couple times just so you can hear what I'm talking about,
The baby
but then we're gonna
crawls
fail it on
left
purpose.
towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on
Get
your
ready for this
experience.
sound. Alright, that's it. I'm not gonna hit it anymore. Just kidding.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
So this is where it actually starts to get really cool. And this is why this is my favorite ending to the game. These loading screens are brutal sometimes, though. But, like, as soon as it starts moving, it's like, you know it's almost done. And now we're playing Minecraft.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Alright.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
And now you get the Minecraft music and everything here. I don't know if it's actual Minecraft music. It kind of sounds like it is, but...
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Now, if you do want to see, you can actually cheat a little bit on this section. You type in face punch, and it kind of just brightens everything up. Like, see, that's a mushroom right there. You normally can't see any of this.
This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one.
And then you can't
Okay,
actually
new
go any
game.
further. But we got to turn off face punch for when we spawn into this one. Let me try it now. Alright, I typed it in. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not, because we weren't actually loaded in, so I doubt it. I'm probably going to have to type it in again. I might ruin the beginning of this next one, but Oh no, it actually worked. Wow. I'm shocked.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
I do like Portal a lot, so I'm happy. And then I always loved this song, so...
Oh, it's a puzzle.
Now, if I remember
Critical
correctly...
thinking, Stanley, your forte.
Hang on. There used to be a way. I don't know if it's only in real Portal. No, I'm not close enough with that. Hang on. I think that might be yeah, it's close enough. Oh, did they really make it impossible to enter? And the cube freaks out. Okay.
Genius.
I'm gonna take the radio with us.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then, I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Well, I don't know if we can actually take the radio with us down here, but I'm gonna try. Oh no. It doesn't work anymore. So I think we have to fall off the edge again. And then we completely lose our radio. But this is really cool because this is what the original Stanley Parable looked like. This was originally a mod for Half-Life 2. And then they wound up actually making a standalone game, which is what I'm playing right now. But this is what it used to look like. Like the whole game used to just look like this. It looked very like dirty and like didn't look like a real game. It looked like a mod. And that was like the original
I wonder
Office.
what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
So that was the alternate games ending, or that's what I've started calling it. I don't really know what else to call it. There's, I think, 3 things that I want to show you. I think 2 of which will be done on one run, and then the last one will be done on a second run. So I'm going to run through this 2 more times real quick. This game has so many different options.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I never understood what it meant by the dude was following me. I was like,
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so with the broom closet is what we're going to do now.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
And you just kind of stand here for a while, and then you leave, and then you're going to come back. It's just funny commentary, so I'll let you guys hear.
There was nothing here.
I'm going to mute the microphone.
No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first.
Sorry, hold on one second. I did not mean to hit that button.
Insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Alright, so now I'm taking the role of player 2.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, You can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
And that's it. There is no more. So now we're going to...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
We're going to have to continue the story for a little bit here
Unraveled,
to get the next
Stanley
spot.
wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Now, if you keep hitting 8...
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
8.
That's like a little Easter egg to the original.
Stanley simply began entering random
was it,
codes into the
2845?
keypad, knowing full well, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So now we gotta just follow the story a little bit. Oh boy.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on and listen to the dialogue.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hit this button, wait. We're not gonna wait. This is gonna bring down an elevator.
Facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
So what we gotta do is just wait here. And then this door should eventually open. There we go. And I think we gotta go back to the first one and hit the button again. And then you've activated the secrets. No, I can only play it for a second and then... Hold on. Let me find where the... Yeah, the music is gonna have to get turned off really quickly just because I can't have the copyrighted stuff, but it's just for a few seconds. I'll show you guys. That's pretty much all it is, so now I'm gonna have to... Not video. Not video. Music. That's gonna be pretty much like inaudible. There you go. And that's the ending. Actually, I don't even have to turn the music off now I'm thinking about it, because we're restarting here anyway. Okay. And now we're gonna do one more ending, and then that's gonna be it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's actually a really interesting ending. I like this one too.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
You gotta go to the right.
he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
We're not going to
I'm
jump
not
off
sure,
this
Stanley,
time.
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the
So,
one to do this.
if you pick
To
up the
reach
phone,
out to her.
the game's
If
going to
you
end
can
really
truly
soon.
place your faith
but-
in another. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
I love this.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
And then you're supposed to practice here.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
And now the game is destroyed.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
And I think the more wrong we do, yeah, like now, like, they put all the safety on and we can't jump off anymore.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
So now we're backtracking. We have to make...
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Now, I don't remember what happens
all
if
you
you
need
go
to do is
left.
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And then we go to the right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
And then you wind up here.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't remember what to do here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's the alternate boss's office.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Yeah, I don't think we can actually do it. I don't remember. I'm hitting E.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Let me see if I say it. Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is
No.
there a problem?
I
didn't mishear
This is
me,
part of the
did you?
story then.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
That's a depressing picture. It's a panda with a gun to its
Okay,
head.
fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And then that's Stanley, I think.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
This is the true ending of the game.
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
It's such a sad ending.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
I'm pretty sure that's it for this one. Yep, and that was it. Back to the main menu. Alright, so that was the Stanley Parable. I just wanted to show my favorite things. I don't know if I'm going to make another episode of this. There are some other things that I did like in this game, so I might show a couple more endings in another episode. So I will name it episode 1, because there may be an episode 2 at some point. Just don't expect it anytime soon, because I don't play this game very frequently, because I've already done everything. So I just felt like showing off some of my favorite endings and Easter eggs, like the secret room. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.